Alrighty, what's up, everybody? Peter Gilmore here on this Thursday night. Back at you back at you again with another video right here on the Peter Gilmore YouTube wrestling page, youtube.com/Peter Gilmore. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like this video, hit the subscribe button down below, subscribe to all my other channels, which are down below in the description box. And as always, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, share this video all over the internet, and don't forget to tap that bell and turn on all my notifications so hopefully YouTube can send out my videos to you. If not, just refresh my pages, refresh my channels every day or every couple of days, and hopefully the videos will be out for you, or you just look up my name and look up my channel names, and hopefully the latest video will be there. If not, it'll be up there in a couple of hours or whatever. But don't forget to hit the bell to get notified, because if you don't, well, you miss out. And if you miss out, well, that sucks for you. And that's all I gotta say about that. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, on this Thursday, on this rainy, cold Thursday night, October the 29th, 2020, 2 days away from Halloween. So tomorrow is All Hallows Eve, the night before Halloween. So should be a good weekend. All the kiddies getting their candy and getting cavities and all that other shit. And then that's that. I gotta work in the evening till the late night. So I'll probably see some kids at my store, but probably not a lot, because I think they're gonna be going out early in the day, probably like 2-3 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock, and they'll probably go out to about 7, maybe 8 o'clock. So probably get a couple hours worth of kids and teenagers coming into my job and give them some candy, and while I'm working with customers and everything. So should be an interesting night. Got a full moon. Interesting enough, a full moon on Halloween night. So the werewolves will be out, and the freaks and the creeps and the weird people will be out. So enjoy it. Enjoy it this year. I know a lot of people will be going out. So in their costumes and everything. I'm not going out. I'm not dressing up, but I gotta work, so I'll be dressing up as a retail employee. That's all I gotta say about that. Maybe Rose will dress up. I don't know, but we got all the candy ready for the kiddies, and so we'll be ready for when the kids come out. Probably about 2 or 3 o'clock. We'll put out we'll get ready for the kids to come out. Then I gotta go to work about 4:15. Get into work by 5, and then I go to work till about 11:30, and then I come home, and then hopefully Sunday I'm off to watch the Niners game. So it's gonna be a big game on Sunday. Niners and the Seahawks in Seattle. It's not always a good game, but not a good game, but it's gonna be a great game. Tough to win in Seattle. We won that last year, clinching the number 1 seed. With a great game that went down to the last second. If you missed that game, I mean, you need to go watch that game. So the first of 2 games against Seattle, got them at the end of the season in San Fran. So we'll see what happens with that. And Niners got a tough road ahead of them the next 5-6 weeks. Actually, no. Actually, the next 4 or 5 weeks. Actually, got Seattle. Then we got the Packers. Got the Saints. I got the Rams, and I think we got Buffalo. Not easy games. So, and then we got the week 11. We got the bye. Week 11 to week 12, we got the bye. So the next couple games are gonna be really tough for the Niners. And if they can go, they're 4-3 now. If they can go 7-4, 8-3, that'd be great. But I'm hoping at least we will stay over 500 and still in the race for the NFC West title. About a game and a half back of Seattle and Arizona. We're tied with the Rams, though we don't have a great record, and I think we're 1-1 in the division, so not great, but it is what it is. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. Football Sunday, the beginning of November is just about upon us. We turn the clocks back 1 hour on Saturday from 2 o'clock to 1 o'clock. So we gained an hour of sleep for you people that love to sleep like me. But so you get that, and then we start the month of November, and we start getting ready for Thanksgiving, and then the holiday season, Christmas, Hanukkah coming up, and my birthday. My phone went off. Christmas and Hanukkah and all that other good stuff coming up, and New Year's Eve. So actually, right as of this date, it is now 8 weeks until my birthday. So I'll be an old fart, but you knew that already. Anyway, as the title below says, I'm going to give you a twofer tonight. I'm going to give you my AEW Dynamite review and my NXT Halloween Havoc 2020 review. So we're going to talk about AEW first, and then we're going to talk about Halloween Havoc. So the chat room is open. You can come in, talk to me for a little bit about both shows, and that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Before I start, I want to give my thoughts and prayers and my condolences to the family of Tracy Smothers, who passed away yesterday. Don't know the cause of death, but he sadly passed away yesterday. He was pretty sick, and just a shame. Another wrestler dies. Those who don't know who Tracy Smothers is, go back and watch some ECW tapes. He was prominent in the Full-Blooded Italians with himself, Big Vito. Well, I don't think Big Vito was in it, but Sally Graziano and Little Nunzio, former tag team champions, I might add. But FBI was a great group back in ECW. Didn't really see much of Tracy Smothers after ECW went out of business. He was doing some stuff in Southern wrestling. He was on indie shows here and there. But sadly, he has passed away, and my thoughts and prayers go out to the Tracy Smothers family. So now he's up there in the sky making pizza. I don't know what he's doing up there, but just a shame, and he's gone. And now we have 2/3 of FBI left. We got Nunzio, and we got Sally. I think Sally Graziano is still alive, probably eating pizza, because he steals everybody's pizza. You know, if you followed ECW back in the '90s with all the chants of "Where's my pizza?" Sally ate it. So probably never get another FBI reunion, but you know, Nunzio's still around. He does some wrestling shows here and there. Last time I saw him was at a WOW event back in, I think, 2018, 2019. You know, still looks good for his age. I think he's like 40, 50 years old. Little shrimp that he is, though, but it is what it is. Sally Graziano is probably like 800 pounds by now. I don't know. Maybe he lost weight. I don't know. But probably still stealing your pizza. But it is what it is. That's all I got to say about that. And that's it. Excuse me. I still have this cold. I think I got a bad cold. I've been having it for weeks. I got this tickling cough I can't get rid of. I think it's my thyroid. I don't know what it is. I went to urgent care yesterday to get it checked out. My throat was killing me yesterday. I was throwing up all morning, and I wanted to get off work, but they wouldn't let me, so I had to go in and make my money, even though I was half dead. I still made my money that you wish you had. But so they checked me out. They gave me a rapid COVID test. You may get the results like 15 minutes. That was great. I didn't want to wait 3 days for my results. So I got my COVID test. I'm negative for the 4th time. So COVID can suck a big fat cock. You ain't gonna get me. So, and not gonna get Rosa either. So any of my family and friends and anything. Well, I know one of my friends may have it. She's in the hospital right now, so hopefully she doesn't have it. It's just like a flu bug or an infection or something like that. So it's my good friend Valerie. I know she's not watching this, but stay strong and you'll beat this and get out of the hospital really quick. Get back on your feet. That's all I gotta say about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me finish. I want to get this video up and out and done. So I'm gonna stay up for a couple more hours. I want to go to sleep because I got a long day tomorrow. I mean, a long day. 8.5 hours of work tomorrow, from 3 o'clock to 11:30. I probably won't get out till about 11:45. Close to 11:45, and then probably won't be home till about 12:15, 12:30 around there. And then I got to work Saturday. I work Halloween again, which I don't like to do, but at least I'm working late. Thankfully, I'm not working early like I was. Like that, I worked the last 2 years. The first year I had off, thankfully, and last 2 years. The last 2 years I worked on Halloween when it was on a Wednesday and then it was on a Friday, and now Halloween's on a Saturday. Next year's on a Sunday. That should be fun. Hopefully I'm off that day, but you'll see what happens between now and next October 2021. Hopefully the virus is over, but I beg to differ with that one. But because this virus is still going on. New Jersey's positivity rate is 6%. The numbers are going up every fucking day. New York is at almost at 3% positivity rate. Their numbers are going up. And fucking the Blasio wants to enforce more some restrictions. So they might be going back to square one, phase one, when the reopening. They're gonna scale back a lot. So all these businesses are gonna probably close down, which sucks. And no stimulus check till, because I think the government's, the Congress is not gonna come back until I think November the 9th. So a week from Monday. So they have something done, but I mean they're still at odds. So hopefully by Thanksgiving we'll get a fucking nice big fat check, but those idiots in Congress, and most of them would be gone anyway because of election days, 4.5 days in 4.5 days. Try to go voting today. Well, the place I was supposed to go to was not doing it, and going to another. You have to go to another place. So I'm not doing that. I'm waiting till Tuesday to vote. I'm gonna go early. Rose is doing it tomorrow, but I'm gonna do mine on Tuesday. Get it done and out of the way. No lines, hopefully. Just get it done and over with in the morning, and then have the rest of the day myself. And then I watch CNN all night, and then we'll see who wins. Hopefully it's Trump, because if Biden wins, we're gonna get destroyed. If you've been following the news today, they were saying if Biden wins, China's gonna fuck us up. China's gonna strike, and we're gonna get fucked in the ass without lube. So you want to live? You want to live for the next 20, 30 years? I think you know who to vote for. So, just saying. I'm just saying. Don't vote for that sleepy idiot. Vote for Trump. And that's all I got to say about that. That's what I'm voting for. I already said it. I've been saying it for the last few months that I'm voting for Trump. I don't want Biden in. I don't want Kamala Harris in. I don't want to have a female president because we all know that's going to suck. Thank God we didn't get Hillary Clinton in 2016. Thank God. Because this country would have been worse than it is right now. And who knows what's going to happen in the next 4 years with Trump or Biden. This country probably be in the ground. Most of us probably won't live to see in the next 4 years. Who knows? With this fucking virus going on, China probably wanted to fucking destroy us because they have the best military in the world. Yeah, they have nukes, so we're fucked. Even though we have nukes too, so global nuclear thermal war might be upon us next year, or by the end of this year. And if 2020, can only end with a big fat bang, who's to say we'll get global World War III by the end of this year, early 2021. And hopefully not. I know people that are in the army, so hopefully they don't get sent to war. And then they have to draft, and they'll draft my fucking ass. I'm not going. I got a reason not to go. I got a disability, so they can't get me. So fuck you. Fuck you, draft. They ain't getting me. I'm not going. I don't care if I go to jail. I'll sit in a nice jail cell for like about a couple weeks. Just say fuck this country. Like, I'm not going to war. I have a reason. So fuck you, man. That's it. So that's it. All right. So let's begin this review because I don't want to waste any time. I already wasted 16 minutes of your precious time. But anyway. All right. So let's begin with your AEW Dynamite review for October the 28th, 2020 from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. This is the pre go home show before next Saturday's Full Gear 2 event, which looks already, the card looks amazing. AEW World Title match, tag team title match. All the titles are on the line at Full Gear. We're going to see who's going to be the number one contender for the AEW World Title. We got a pretty decent buy-in match. Orange Cassidy and I think it's John Silver. That should be okay. We don't know who's going to win that one, though. Obvious is obvious, so we got to get that. And rest of the card is pretty good. We found out a new match last night for the women's title. It's going to be Hikaru Shida defending against her arch nemesis, the number one contender, the Native Beast, Nyla Rose, with her best friend, her manager, the ever popular, excuse me, Vicky Guerrero at ringside. So let's see what happens with that. So we got a little bit of storyline progression tonight. Wasn't a bad show. Actually, we got two matches announced last night. So let's get to the show. Let's talk about it. But before we do, let's talk about the ratings for this week. And for the first time since July the 8th, NXT beat NXT beat AEW in the ratings. Because they had I think Halloween Havoc was a great show. The resurrection of Halloween Havoc on NXT. That's what a lot of people were watching. I watched AEW. I watched Halloween Havoc today, so I'll get to that in a minute. But NXT won with I believe it was 861,000 views. AEW got 756,000, I think it was, somewhere around there. So NXT won. It's like I said, it won the ratings war for the first time since July. That's a long time. August, September, basically 3 months. The AEW is just rolling along. So NXT picks up the win, and we'll see what happens next week with AEW's Go Home show NXT will have the fallout from Halloween Havoc and the lead up to the next takeover show, War Games, on November the 21st. From the from the Capital Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida, where they got another outbreak of COVID. So Halloween Havoc was changed a little bit, but none of the main stars were affected. So that's thank God for that. But they're running a slop shop down there. It's like almost every day somebody's getting fucking COVID down there. It sucks to be a wrestler down there. It is what it is, especially in where if you're working for WWE with that slop shop that it is. AEW probably has the best freaking testing in all of wrestling right now. I would think, but I don't know. I think Ring of Honor is doing about the same thing. New Japan tests everybody. And the fans, because they're fans now in Japan. I mean, lots of fans. Not lots of fans, but they have some big crowds and at the Kurgan Hall, which they're gonna have Power Struggle next weekend, which should be pretty good. And then they got their final event, December the 15th, I believe, which is the road to the Tokyo Dome. So that should be pretty good. We'll see who comes out of that with the contract with either Ibushi or whoever, or Jay White. Well, on Power Struggle, we'll see what happens with that. Those are good matches for Power Struggle, and that's that. So let's begin. Like I said, it should be pretty good. So, but like I said, if you're in NXT, good luck trying to battle COVID, because you may get it. You may get it at some point. And a lot of people from NXT have had it. So I get that. So they're running a slop shop down there. It is, like I said, it is what it is. But like I said, thankfully nobody major got it. No big time stars got it, like EO or like Rhea Ripley or Johnny Gargano or Candice and people like that. But just a fucking slop shop down there. But it is what it is. All right, so let's get to AEW. We start off AEW Dynamite with I believe it was it or was it somebody else? I think it was Alex Marvez. He interviewed our friend, our buddy, the man that is better than you, and you know it, MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman. He's with his buddy Wardlow in the back. It is with Dasha. MJF says he's proud of Wardlow, but if he wins the tournament and beats whoever the champion is, Moxley or Eddie Kingston, MJF becomes the AEW laid down for him. Wardlow was like, "What? You sure about that, dude?" And then MJF gets in his face like, "You are gonna give the belt to me, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got it. So he's eventually gonna turn on MJF soon, but we'll see what happens with that. Maybe a full gear he finally turns, but we'll see. All right, then in comes the sexy Spanish guy, Sammy Guevara, and he is pissed. He takes MJF's jacket and says, "Screw your jacket, and screw you." It's like he's not his buddy or his friend, and he's gonna make sure that he never joins the inner circle. So MJF says he has some advice for him, and he tells Wardlow to step aside, get ready for your match. Then he talks to Sammy Guevara about his promos, especially with the one against the one against Matt Hardy. He says, "Don't." So he got mad at his promos. I don't know why, because that promo that Sammy Guevara did, it was pretty damn good ahead of their match at Full Gear. The Elite deletion match. So that should be pretty good. It's all cinematic. It's going to be at the Hardy compound, where we might see Senor Benjamin and maybe Rebby Hardy, maybe the kids, Wolfgang, Bartholomew, and Maxwell. See that? Maybe, just maybe, we might see Willow or Bruno, but I doubt that. No, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see Jeff Hardy. Maybe we'll see a cardboard cutout of him or something, so Vince won't get mad. Like, oh, what are you doing there, Jeff? You're fired. So we'll see. Maybe Jeff Hardy might show up. I don't know, but I doubt it. And that's that. Excuse me. All right, so he gets upset about Sammy's promos, and Sammy's like, "No, I'm thinking of all the things I'm going to do about it." So he's not thinking about MJF right now. He's thinking about kicking Matt Hardy's ass. So we'll see what happens with that. So, and then Wardlow leaves, and we find his match with Adam Page is coming next. So I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars just to open the show. So we get that. And we're off and running with AEW Dynamite. So we go to the arena. We go to Daly's place in Jacksonville, Florida. As always, we have good old JR, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur on commentary. So we start off with the first semifinal match in the World Title Elimination Tournament. Adam Page taking on Wardlow. Wasn't a bad match. And they start off Page coming out of the gate, trying to beat up Wardlow, trying to wear him down a little bit. But Wardlow kicks him in the gut and goes to working him in the corner. Sends him off the ropes. Page holds on and kicks Wardlow. Wardlow with a fireman's carry, but Page slides down behind, only to be lifted by the head and tossed into the corner. And then he goes to work on Page in the corner over and over and over again in the midsection. Goes for a splash. Page holds the ropes for Wardlow to fly over and onto the apron. And Page hits a springboard clothesline from the middle rope to Wardlow. And he goes for a slingshot crossbody, but Wardlow catches him. Looks to launch him into the ring post, but Page gets out of it, sends Wardlow into the post head first. Ow. And then they're still on the outside. Wardlow runs. He lifts and he drives him into the barricade with a spear. And he's on the outside. Wardlow goes into the ring. Aubrey Edwards starts to count. And Adam Page gets in at 9.99999. Just barely broke the count. Wardlow slams Page down on his back, pins him for a near fall. And he starts going back to work on Page. He tosses Page clear across the ring. Then he hits a gut-wrench powerbomb for a near fall. Puts Page on the top rope, and he goozles him. Looks to hit a super choke slam or something. Page drops down, locking an arm breaker against the ropes. Aubrey has to start the count. Page breaks the hold. And then Wardlow tries to hit a knee on the apron, grabs Page and suplexes him into the ring. Goes up top, tries for a senton splash, but Adam Page moved and gets up, clotheslines Wardlow, but he doesn't go down. Tries for another one, but meets Wardlow in the middle. Wardlow drops him. Page gets up and hits a forearm. Wardlow comes back with a kick. They lock up. He goes for a German. Page lands on his feet and clotheslines Wardlow to the outside. Page goes up top, hits a springboard, not a springboard, hits a moonsault off the top, laying Wardlow out. They go back in the ring. Page hits a running shooting star press for a 1 count. He goes on the apron looking for the buckshot lariat. Wardlow dodges it, clotheslines Page almost out of his boots for a near fall. Then he picks him up. He picks him up for the F10, hits the F10, looks to win the match, but Page rolls to the outside. Wardlow's pissed, grabs him and drags him to the top rope. Puts Page on his shoulders looking for a super F10. But Page gets out of it, but he gets goozled, And Page continues to fight out of it, hits some rights. Then he grabs the leg, hits a super exploder off the top rope. Then he goes to the apron, hits the buckshot lariat, but Waldo won't go down. Goes to the other side of the ring and hits another buckshot lariat. This time knocking Waldo down. He goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Hangman Adam Page wins the match. He is going to the finals of the AEW World Title, number one contender tournament. So we'll see who he faces. We either Pentagon Zero Miedo or Kenny Omega in the finals at Full Gear. We'll see who faces Moxley or Eddie Kingston after that. Probably on the next, probably on a special Dynamite, probably by the end of the year. We'll see what happens with that. So Page wins. Match I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Was pretty good. And like I said, we'll see who Page faces at Full Gear. And that's that. All right, then we go to a video promo from the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Jon Moxley. And he says this isn't about the rankings. This is just for him. He won't be defending the title. He's going to weaponize it. Whatever that means. He calls Eddie Kingston miserable and excuse-making. He says AEW is for those who do the work and put their asses on the line. And Eddie's going to have to say the words, I quit. He'll be all alone with his ego. He says he crushes windpipes and skulls and egos. And he tells Eddie to protect your neck. And, yeah. So, it's going to be a hard-hitting, hardcore match. Probably see some barbed wire, maybe. I don't know. Lots of tables and chairs used. Maybe a ladder, kendo sticks, anything under the sun will probably be used in this match. Maybe some blood. I don't know. But Eddie will have his family there. Pentagon Zero, Ray Phoenix, Butcher and the Blade, and the Bunny, Allie. So, they'll be there trying to help him out. Moxley will be all alone trying to stop it, but we'll see what happens next Saturday night. And comes out with the AEW World Heavyweight title. And that's that. Speaking of the devil, no, not that devil, not Satan himself, not Ozzy either, not Ozzy. Big ups to Kelly Osbourne, by the way. So Eddie Kingston comes out with the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny, Allie. And we get to match number 2 as Eddie Kingston takes on Reborn Matt Sydal, or Evan Bourne, whatever you want to call him. Match was okay, nothing great about it. They lock up, Eddie misses a backhand, Sydal chops him, then Eddie comes back with a side headlock, circa 1925. Matt comes back with an arm drag, then another one, works over the arm of Eddie, goes for a roll-up, gets a 2 count, and then he goes to work on Eddie in the corner. He covers for a near fall. He wants a Cobra Crush, but Eddie escapes it. Matt kicks Eddie in the thigh again and again. He spins Eddie, catches him, drops him down, and then hits an elbow drop. So he goes to work on Matt in the corner, hits a chop, pushes him in the face, getting in his face like, you suck! And he grabs his ponytail. Well, he grabs Matt's ponytail, slams him down on his head, and then a kick to the chest. Then he knocks him up from behind in a rear naked chin lock, circa 1925. Matt gets out of it, hits an elbow. He goes off the ropes, goes for a sunset flip into a pin for a near fall. Eddie comes back with a hard clothesline, and then he sits in the corner to catch his Eddie's a little off balance a little bit, kicks Matt in the face, and with another chop, Eddie hits the ropes, goes for a big boot. Matt catches it, trips Eddie down, and then hits a spinning, flipping splash that only he can do, like whee splash. Eddie comes back with a forearm to the face, another chop, and then another one, and then another one. So like 3 straight chops. Matt flies with a high knee, then a kick to the back of the head for a near fall. Eddie's, wobblies. His legs are about to give out. He hits an elbow to the face. Matt chops Eddie as he gets to the top rope. He runs up. Eddie shoots him down. Matt launches himself and head scissors Eddie down with a super Conrana. Goes to the top rope. Goes for the shooting star press. And Eddie gets the knees up. Covers him for a near fall. But Matt gets up. Rolls up Eddie. Uses the trunks. But Eddie escapes. Matt with a backslide for a near fall. And then Eddie comes back with a knee to the gut. Then a spinning back fist. He starts yelling out for Moxley. Then knocks in the bulldog choke that Moxley has been using as of late. So he uses Moxley's submission. And he starts yelling, tap out, tap out. And Matt Sydal taps out. So Eddie Kingston gets the win. A little warm-up match before their face-to-face next week. That should be pretty interesting. We'll see what happens with that. So match was all right. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. And afterwards, Eddie won't let go. The referee tries to stop him, but in comes the Butcher and the Blade. Get him off. Bunny grabs the mic, brings it over to Eddie. Eddie says, "Say I quit, Moxley." And we see Matt Sydal's like, I quit. And then Eddie says, "I'm sorry" to Moxley, and then they leave. That's it. So, like I said, we'll see what happens next Wednesday night in their face-to-face encounter. Might be a humongous brawl, maybe to end the show, but we'll see what happens with that. And we will move on from there. That's that. All right, then we go to a sit-down interview from earlier in the day. We have Excalibur sitting with the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, while Tully Blanchard is with FTR, the Revival, whatever you want to call them, Cash and Dax, in another part of the building, not from via satellite. They're in another part of the building. So Excalibur asks Matt about his ankle, and Nick's like, he's like saying he's not good, he's not well. Matt's like, I'm fine. He said this match has been brewing for years, especially with the whole BTE thing. FTR, fuck the Revival, and doing the Ring of Honor days, and the New Japan days a little bit. Nick says Matt can't even play with his own kids. That sucks. Then Excalibur FTR asks him, why would you jeopardize this dream match? Dax says this match is a dream match, but above that is being the champion. And he says whoever walks out the champion as the best tag team in the world. Scott was he's known Bucks for years, especially in PWG. FTR says, yeah, well, that's why you're getting paid. Little dig at that. Dig at their paycheck. It is what it is. Matt says that he and Nick like to think of themselves as good people. Well, because they're good Christian boys, as Kevin Steen used to say. Don't do that shit. Right on. And if you never watched the Mount Rushmore promo, you know what I'm talking about. And sometimes they do bad things to bad people. Do they regret what they've done? No, they're not. They aren't proud of themselves, but they don't regret it. And for the last year, they've been suffering. They haven't been winning as of late. And it says there's something missing. They lost their edge. They couldn't get their finger on it. And the moment these pricks started messing with their livelihoods, something changed. That killer instinct came out of them. And he said, will this be the cause of their undoing? Maybe, but that's how they feel. And then Cash says, excuse me, there's a bug in my house. Cash says they have more to say, but obviously they aren't needed. So they leave. Like, we're done. We're done here. We're out of here. So they leave, and then Excalibur brings up the Bucks have more to lose than just that FTR has more to lose than just the titles. So Matt says, well, we have more to lose. than just a match. And Matt says, and Nick doesn't like it. He's like, Matt came up with this idea, but I may or may not like it. It is what it is. So Matt says if they don't win the tag team titles, they will never challenge for the titles ever again. So I think that's a bad idea from the Bucks, and I've been a Bucks fan since 2012, which, well, for a long time. Let's put it that way. From the time in TNA when they were Generation Me to their time in PWG, the long years with PWG, and then going to Japan, winning the junior tag titles a bunch of times, and they won the heavyweight tag title once, and then they lost. Forming the Bullet Club with Gallows and Anderson and Kenny and Cody and Adam Cole, baby. And I don't think they were there for when Prince Devitt was there, but I think they weren't there. They came late. They came a couple years later when Bad Luck Fale was leading the group after Prince Devitt left for the WWE, and then Gallows and Anderson comes in, and then we all know the history of the Bullet Club. After that, Yujiro Takahashi comes in. So many others came in after that. Chase Owens, Scott Hall's son, Cody Hall, comes in. They have another guy that we hardly see anymore. He's a Japanese guy. I don't know his name, but the Bullet Babe came in. Amber O'Neil, who's now not married to the Doc Gallows. I don't even think they're an item anymore. But in her place is Peter, that ass. That's all I gotta say. But that Yujiro's bitch. But it is what it is. So I think it's a bad idea. Why would you give up? Say you're basically gonna lose, and then you don't get a tag title shot for a year. They're basically doing the same thing that Cody did when he fought Jericho at Full Gear last year, and he said, if I don't win, I'll never go after the world title. And then we all saw what happened last year when MJF turned on Cody, and Jericho beat Cody, and Cody hasn't had a world title match since last year. So that's probably what's going to happen to the Bucks. They're going to lose, which sucks, even though I'm picking the Bucks to win. But I think FTR is going to win the match, and the Bucks are going to go on they're not going to get a tag title shot for at least a year. And that sucks because I thought they were going to be the next tag team champions, and now if they don't win the match and they don't get a tag title shot for as long as there, who's going to beat FTR? Could be I think it might be the Best Friends. Get a shot, even though they lost to FTR. But this might be the Best Friends, might be the Lucha Brothers. That could be Butcher. Well, I don't think it'll be Butcher and a Blade. It's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be Santana and Ortiz. So Best Friends again, but we shall see what happens. And I think the Best Friends will beat FTR, and then the Best Friends will probably lose to somebody, maybe somebody else, maybe Santana and Ortiz or somebody else like that. But you probably won't see the Bucks in a tag title match for a long time, unless they have some like loophole in the contract that maybe by Double or Nothing they'll get it. They'll get a tag title shot, or maybe by All Out 4, or All Out 4, whatever you want to call it, All Out 3, whatever you want to call it. Probably by next year we'll probably have something like the Bucks had a clause in the contract. That is a loophole, and they say, "Oh, we lied about that. We're gonna get a tag title shot next year." It'll probably be the same thing with Cody next year too. So, that's what I think is gonna happen. FTR is gonna beat the Bucks. The Bucks are gonna either turn heel or just they'll be pissed off. Maybe Matt and Nick break up. I don't think they're gonna break up, but that'll really be bad. You know, that'll really be bad. Then what's gonna happen on BTE? Was that Adam Page left the Elite? We hardly, we don't see him much, even though he was on 2 weeks ago with him and Brandon Cutler, who finally won a match against Peter Avalon. That so-called hyped up, no disqualification, no, it must be a winner match. He finally won. Whoop-de damn fucking do. First win and probably won't be the last, but probably will be the last because he sucks. But it is what it is. And that's that. And Kenny's not on that much, even though they're portraying him as the cleaner now. He's kind of hyping the return of the cleaner. We don't see Cody any. Well, we did see. We saw Cody in a segment with I think it was Private Party, and when they had a quote unquote private party, he was the first one there, so he gets into the party. They don't worry about COVID in that party. Come on. It is what it is. So Cody is rarely on BT anymore. But we get some guests here and there that we haven't seen on BT in a while, and new people in there. So it's a good show. Watch it on Monday afternoons. So the next episode should be coming out this Monday, and then the week after that we'll get a Full Gear aftermath of BTE on episode 229, I believe it is. So should be good. I think they're gonna end the year with a bang. Not that kind of a bang, but you know what I mean. Can't wait for the final BTE of 2020. We'll see what happens with that, and we move on. That's it. All right, so I gave that segment 2.5 out of 5 stars, and we'll see what happens at Full Gear. And if the Bucks win, that'd be great. They win the tag titles for like the 99th time or something like that. I don't know how many times they've been champions. It's like almost, if you count their PWG tag title reigns and their junior tag title reigns in Japan, it's almost 15, 20 almost. Getting really close to Dudley territory. But it is what it is, and that's that. So, like I said, 2.5 out of 5 stars, and we'll see what happens with them at Full Gear, and that's that. All right, then we go back to Daly's place for a town hall meeting with Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle and MJF. So we have Tony Schiavone and Dasha on the stage. They're hosting. Welcome us to the town hall. So we have separate tables and chairs in the ring. And Tony and Dasha are on the stage. So MJF comes out all alone, no Wardlow behind him. He pats Tony on the head. Who does he think he is? Chelsea Green? Come on. Yeah, a pat on the head. You're a good lad. Then he sits on his side of the ring. Jericho comes out with most of the Inner Circle except for Jake Hager, who had a Bellator match last night, and I think it was tonight, and he won that match so he's still undefeated in Bellator MMA. That's pretty nice. So congratulations. So the first question of the town hall goes to Luchasaurus, and he asks MJF, how can he contribute to the earning potential and continued financial prosperity of the Inner Circle? So MJF pulls up a chart that showed pre-MJF and then post-MJF, and post-MJF is like this. Pre-MJF was like up, down. So MJF says he has a pretty spotty record pre-MJF, yet an upward climb post-MJF. He said it's meth. So he's like simple economics, even almost said dogonomics, not that guy John Cena, but because his dogonomics suck. But it is what it is. All right, after that, we get Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, baby, who's with Reba. And Reba's like, oh my God, it's Chris Jericho! You have such a smile. She's flirting with Jericho, even though Jericho's married. But it is what it is. Britt Baker asks Cody and other people. Jericho says he's not a dipshit like Cody Rhodes. MJF knows nothing about their plans or secrets, and besides, if MJF tries and turns on them, they'll knock MJF's teeth down his throat. So then MJF says he promises both money and championships. He says, I'm right. We can all settle down here. Then after that, Peter Avalon has a question, and basically he's like, can I join the Inner Circle? And they all laugh at him. Like, so Peter Avalon goes to cry. Poor him. MJF, they all laugh at him. Jericho's like, no. And then the next question comes from a Mr. Eric B. And get whose name would be Eric B? Let me think. So out comes Easy E, Eric Bischoff. So he comes and he says he has a 3-pronged question. Talks about January 20th, 1961. John F. Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you. So Bischoff asks MJF, what can he do for the Inner Circle? So MJF's like, well, that's a good question. Very powerful question. So I only can give you a 1-word answer. Friendship. So it's like, okay. So Bischoff, his next question is, given that most would consider MJF to be a complete package, what does he believe the Inner Circle can do for him? So MJF's like, no. I am the complete package. No, not the total package. Lex Luger. Flexi Lexi. So he says he also humbly accept that he has a dent in his armor. He may not be the best team player, but he believes that once he joins the Inner Circle, he can learn how to be a team player. So that's that. And then his third question is, he has worked with Jericho for many years. Bischoff has worked with Jericho for many years, and most would agree that he's a prima donna. So Jericho, what do you mean I'm a prima donna? That's a bad question. It's like, cut his mic off, and Tony's like, Mr. Bischoff has the floor, and tells him to shut up. So Shivani's, getting a little bit. And Bischoff continues the question, and his third question is, given that MJF possesses many of the same prima donna-esque characteristics, what is the guarantee that if he joins, they just won't end up killing each other? So MJF gets pissed. He says, this is preposterous. I'm getting booed, throwing arrows at me. I'm a good person. I came out out of respect, a leap of faith. So Jericho's like, answer the question, idiot. And he says MJF has a question for Jericho. He says, week after week, he's made it very clear that he checks every single box. He's brought presence out, good TV, friendship, and the best segment of Jericho's entire career, the Dina de Bonaire, and all professional wrestling. That's the segment of the year. Changed my mind to there's something else that's better than that. So MJF asked Jericho, what hasn't he done? So Jericho's like, well, you haven't beaten me. But so Jericho's like, I'll give you a chance to do that at Full Gear. And if you win, you join the Inner Circle. So MJF says, this is the biggest opportunity of my life. I want to let you know something. I would do anything to win, whatever it takes. Jericho's like, I would expect nothing else. So MJF's like, no, you don't understand. I mean anything to win. So I don't know what that would mean. So maybe get the finger poke of doom. I don't know. So then Ortiz gets in MJF's face, telling him to shut up. All he does is run his mouth. And me and him don't want him to be in the inner circle. Santana is a little bit in the middle. I don't know why. It says, don't believe for once. My notes going all over the place. Don't believe for once that Jericho's asking him that he has a shot. He makes a match for next week between MJF and Wardlow, excuse me, against Sammy and Ortiz, and he tells MJF that he will not be making it to the pay-per-view. So, no fighting words there from Ortiz. So we'll see what happens with that match next week. Should be a pretty good match. As Jericho will be on commentary next week with his golden voice, because he is pretty damn good on commentary next to Shivani, of course. And JR and Excalibur. So we'll get that next week. It should be fun. So the town hall meeting, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, and we'll see what happens next week on the program, and that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And we move on. All right, after that, we got to match number 3 for the TNT Championship in a lumberjack match. We had Cody Rhodes on the from, I believe it was last week, where Orange Cassidy looked to have the match won, but the time limit expired. The 20-minute time limit expired. So this match was pretty good, not bad. It starts with Orange going for the orange punch. Cody dodges it, throws on skate, goes for the mouse trap. Cody escapes that, and then Orange pretends to put his hands in his pocket, grabs a side headlock into a pin for a 1 count, works over the arm, then takes Cody down with another side headlock. Cody escapes, sends Orange into the corner, and flips right into the corner. Cody kicks at the lumberjacks as they try and grab him, the heels mostly. Orange with a 1925 backslide for a 1 count. Then he starts beating up on Cody. Cody comes back, looks for a suplex, and hits a front suplex. On yells for Cody to get serious. So Cody gets serious for a minute. Goes for another suplex. Orange reverses it and hits a delayed vertical suplex. He slides to the outside, and the best friends hold everyone back. Then they have the good old-fashioned best friends hug. Give me a hug. And they have that. They pull back a la Okada, as always. So Orange Cassidy gets back on the apron. He hits a shoulder to Cody. Cody grabs the leg, hits a dragon screw against the ropes. Ow. Then Orange stands up, hits Cody with a right hand. And then Cody hits a right, and Orange Cassidy gets knocked off the apron, but the best friends catch him and push him back on the apron. Orange flies over Cody in the ring, ducks under a run. Cody spills to the outside. Gets on the apron. Orange slaps the hand of Cody, and the best friends catch Cody, but then they drop him. Oops! My hand slipped. So Cody gets back in the ring. Orange hits a drop kick, and then Trent with a cheap shot. So goes up the ropes. He dies, hits a crossbody. Orange gets up. Cody gets up, ducks clothesline. Goes for a tilt-a-whirl slam or backbreaker. Then goes for a swinging DDT, but Cody drops him. Goes for a figure 4 leg lock. Orange kicks Cody out. The Dark Order try to attack. Cody runs back into the ring, hits a DDT for a near fall. Then Orange Cassidy goes to the top rope, calls for a 450 splash, and just fell off the corner. Just like, I got the 450. Okay. As Cody gets the knees up anyway. He sends Orange to the outside. Cody to the outside. Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall send Orange back in, while the best friend send Cody back in. Cody tries to split the legs, but Orange gets up. He heads to the corner. Cody with a hip toss and sends Orange back into the corner, then into the ropes, hits a back elbow for a near fall. He grabs the leg, pulls on it, looking for a half Boston Crab. Sits on the back of Orange. Orange turns, drops his weight into the hold, tries to grab at the face. Then he gets to the ropes, breaks the hold. Cody gets up, goes over to Orange, and sits on the second rope. He flies with an axe handle for a near fall. Cody goes from behind and looking for a German suplex. Orange with a back elbow. Whips the ropes. Orange holds on. And he back body drops Cody to the outside with a Dark Order, just basically beat him up. Orange then slides out of the ring, fights the Dark Order off. He back body drops Evil Uno onto the Dark Order. And then Angelico and Jack Evans attack Orange Cassidy, the Best Friends, and the Gun Club, and all the other faces come out. And then they start beating each other up. While this goes on, Cody enters the ring. And he stands. Orange gets the top rope. Cody with a right hand. He hops on the top rope, knocks the head of Orange, and then he hits a superplex onto everybody on the outside. That was pretty cool. Cody gets back in the ring, covers for a near fall. Then he hits a springboard Gilmore Cutter! Bang! For a near fall. Orange tries for a chop, but it's a weak chop. Cody catches the wrist, hits the ropes. Orange with a right hand. Cody comes back with a clothesline. He grabs the head, locks up for a suplex. And then Orange Cassidy comes out of nowhere with a Gilmore Cutter. Then he goes on the top rope. He dives, hits a DDT. And then he kips up, hits the beach for a near fall. And the Dark Order run into the ring to distract John Silver. Johnny Hungry. He was hungry, and he hit a pump kick. And then Arn Anderson comes in with a shot to the head with his clipboard. It's out of the ring, and then Cody hits Orange Cassidy with the crossroads. Once he took the victory, he retains in a pretty much clusterfuck of a match. And that's basically it. And Cody gets the win, and we'll see what happens with him as he rolls on into his next title defense against Darby Allin at Full Gear 2. Should be a good match. We'll see what happens with that. We move in. Afterwards, all the lumberjacks go berserk on each other until Billy and Austin Gunn, the Gun Club, clear the ring of the Dark Order. And next week, we're going to get the Gun Club, Billy and Austin, teaming up with Cody to face off against John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and Colt Cabana, man who sucks dick. And that's it. That's all I got to say for that. So that should be an interesting match, but we'll see what happens with that. And that's it. All right, so like I said, I gave the match 3.25 out of 5 stars. It wasn't a bad match, and that's it. So Cody retains, and we'll see what happens with him next week. All right, then we go backstage where we see the Best Friends with Alex Marvez. Well, Alex is with Miro and Kip Sabian. Best Friends come up to him and want to apologize for what they did to Miro's arcade or his arcade system. Miro's like, I forgive you, and look, we have a gift. And then they attack the Best Friends in the locker room. They locks them up from behind, saying, I will never forgive you. Never. And then Kip laughs it off in the back, then unwraps the little gaming joystick thing. So next week we're gonna get Miro in his singles debut match against Trent. Should be good. We're gonna have Chucky T at ringside with Trent, and we're gonna have Kip Sabian and the lovely Penelope Ford with Miro. Not that he needs them, but it is what it is. So it should be pretty good. I think Miro is gonna win the match. I mean, he'll suck to lose his debut match. His debut singles match, I should say, because he was in a tag team with Kip a couple weeks ago, and he hurt his ankle. That's why he's been out for a while. So we see that, and that's it. So I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much what I gotta say about that. All right, then we go to the ring for match number 4. We have the new NWA Women's World Champion Serena Deeb, who beat the former champion Thunder Rosa Tuesday for the UWF promotion. And lots of stuff going on with Thunder Rosa. There were rumors that she lost the title and then she was going to go to the WWE. those rumors were false as always, because idiots had to report that. Thankfully, that other idiot that we all know and love, Sean Entertainment, didn't report that, but he knew he would have anyway. So the rumors of Thunder Rosa going to WWE are false. She even went on Twitter, said, "Don't believe everything you hear." So AEW wants to sign her, and she's still kind of, Billy Corgan went on Twitter. Where has Billy Corgan been all for the last few months? He went on Twitter and said that Thunder Rosa has a 3-year contract, so she's going to be there till 2022, I believe. So she's still going to be in the NWA. So right now the NWA has her locked up, but she could still sign with AEW. I hope she does, but we'll see what happens with that. So we get Serena Deeb taking on Layla Hirsch, who I've seen on AEW. I've seen her in I think I saw her in Tier 1. Mostly on the New Jersey indie scene, WrestlePro as well. She's pretty good in the ring, amateur wrestler, as JR mentioned. Match was all right, not bad. We get near the end, and I'm gonna paraphrase some of this. They go to break. They went back and forth in most of it. Layla gave Serena a run for her money, but in the end, Deeb locks the head, hits a spinning neck breaker, spinning roll the dice, then hits another one. Then she puts Layla in an arm and an arm and leg submission, and Layla taps out, and that's it. So Serena Deeb picks up her first win in AEW. She was 0-1, I believe, but she lost to Miss Hikaru Shida in her debut match. So she's 1-1 in AEW. She retains the NWA Women's World Title, and we'll see where she goes from here. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So for all you people who say Serena Deeb is washed up, she was only good for the straight edge Nexus, she can go, ladies and gentlemen. She is pretty good. I've seen her on the indie scene. She's won a couple of titles on the indie scene. She's very good. She knows what she's doing, and she gave Hikaru Shida a run for her money in her debut match. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So don't put down Serena Deeb. So I think she can go, and we might see a rematch with her and Thunder Rosa down the line. Maybe at the next UWF show or whatever show they have the rematch at. And that's all I got to say about that. And we move on. So I give the match 2.5 out of 5, so it's not bad. But Layla Hirsch can go as well. She gave Serena a run for her money. And that's all I got to say about that. And we move on. All right, then we go backstage with Alex Marvez with his guest, the AEW Women's Champion, Hikaru Shida. And he asks her what's next for her. And he brings up Nyla Rose being the number contender for the last few months. And he said that Nyla will not wrestle unless she gets a title shot. So Alex is like, you're going to grant the match? So Shida grabs the mic. He's like, Nyla, you, me, full gear. So we're going to get the rematch from, I believe, Double or Nothing when they had that hellacious hardcore match, which Hikaru Shida won. She won the title right there. And, Nyla hasn't got her rematch, so she finally gets her rematch at Full Gear. This is Nyla Shida 2. So it should be a good match, and we'll see what happens with that. I think Nyla is going to get the belt back and hold it for like another year. Well, not. She'll probably win the belt and then hold it for a while. I don't know who could beat her at this point. Maybe Britt Baker. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if Shida beats Nyla again, holds on to the title, and then loses it to Britt Baker by by next year. Maybe at the next pay-per-view, which will probably be Revolution at the end of February. But we'll see what happens with that. And we're going to move on from there. So I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars as well. So we move on. All right, match number 5, your squash match of the week. We had Ty Dillinger. Oh, I'm sorry, Sean Spears with Tony Blanchard taking on Visk, VSK, another guy from WrestlePro. He's fought in Tier 1. He's fought in Evolve. Another guy from Jersey. So the Jersey indie scene was on in full effect on Dark and on Dynamite last night. So that was pretty nice. Basically, Spears beat him with the Death Valley Driver 1, 2, 3 in 4 seconds. 4 seconds. Yeah. Significance of that, you know what I mean? The whole thing with a possible new 4 horsemen. Maybe with Cody and FTR. Intriguing stuff, isn't it? And that's all I can say about that. So he wins in 4 seconds. Match he gave 1.5 out of 5 stars. Vince was just there to collect his paycheck, and that's it. That's it. So squishy squash match, and that's it. So he gets the win, and that's it. And then afterwards, we get somebody throwing stuff into the ring. We didn't know who it was. And Sean Spears like, who's throwing stuff in the ring at me? And then we see he goes to the ring. We see a fan dressed up as a bull. So he drags him into the ring. He tells Tully to grab a chair or something. And while he's doing that, while he has his back turned, the bull takes off his mask and reveals himself as Scorpio Sky, who got his locker room trashed on Dark and got beat up as well. So Sean turns around and Tully's like, behind you, idiot. So Sean turns around, Scorpio Sky attacks, picks him up, hits the TKO, lets him out, and then he goes over to Tully Blanchard and they have an epic stare down ahead of their match at Full Gear as well. So that should be a pretty interesting match. I thought it would have been on the buy-in, but looks like it's going to be on the main card as a filler match. So we'll see what happens with that. And that's it. So I gave the Aftermath 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's it. All right, then we go to the main event, the final semifinal match in the tournament. We had Pentagon Zero Miedo taking on everybody's favorite cleaner, Kenny Omega. And Pentagon had his brother Ray Phoenix at ringside. And it was supposed to be Ray Phoenix and Kenny, but Ray Phoenix hurt his neck, and he had to forfeit the match. So Pentagon basically got in the match. Didn't even earn it, but it is what it is. So Kenny comes out with his cheerleaders, basically cheerleaders from the Jacksonville Jaguars dancing in bathing suits. I don't know what it was, leotard or whatever it was, holding up brooms and dancing, and they have masks on and stuff. So he comes out. So Pentagon shoves Omega. Omega shoves him back. Then he's like, ooh. Then he lifts up his shirt. We see the AAA Mega Championship that he's had since March, I think. So Omega grabs the title, holds it up to Phoenix and Pentagon since he beat Phoenix for the title way back when. He lays it on the ground, calls Pennant over to give it to him. He's like, bring it on! So they go at it, and this was a pretty good match. Not like that match at in 2 back in 2018. Nonetheless, pretty good match. They went all at it. Lots of high flying moves. Penta hit a backstabber. Kenny goes to the outside. Penta hits the ropes, dives over the top, and lands on Kenny. They remain on the outside. Penta chases Kenny and gets kicked and dropped. And then Kenny goes to work a little bit, but Penta sends Kenny into the ring, pulls back on his arms with the boot to the back. And then they kept going on. And Omega tried for the trifecta Snapdragon suplex. He tried for an avalanche dragon suplex, but Pentagon blocked it. They go back and forth with some chops, and then Kenny with a knee to the face, and then a power bomb. Then he hits the running knee for a near fall. Then he hits the V trigger and tries for the one-winged angel, and Penta got out of it. And they lock up. Then Kenny goes to the apron. Pentagon with a chop. Omega turns around. Penta with a Canadian Destroyer off the top rope. He rolls him into the ring. Then he hooks him up in a Kevin Steen package power, and he gets a very near fall. He goes for the Pentagon driver, but Kenny locks the arm, hits a back elbow, then another one, then another one. Pentagon comes back with an underhook, a pump handle, arm drag from Kenny. Excuse me. Pentagon comes back with an Insegui. He goes off the ropes, and Kenny hits a big high knee out of nowhere. Kenny puts him on his shoulders, looking for the one-winged angel. Penta fights out of it, pulls the arm back. Pentagon looks for the armbar submission, and then he breaks Omega Kenny's arm. Pentagon looks for the end. He has the single underhook pump handle, goes for the Pentagon driver again. Omega escapes, hits a back elbow, but he's favoring the arm. He hits a bunch of chops. Then he hits a right hand, and then Pentagon with a super kick. He goes off the ropes, springboard. He turns into a V trigger from Kenny. Kenny picks up Penta. One winged 1, 2, 3. Kenny Omega picks up the win. A pretty good match. I gave 3.5 out of 5 stars. So Kenny gets the win, and he will go on to face Hangman Adam Page in the finals. Full Gear. See who faces Jon Moxley or Eddie Kingston at a later date, which may be the Dynamite after Full Gear on November the 11th on Veterans Day. We'll see. Well, could be before Thanksgiving. Could be by the end of the year. But we'll see what happens with that. And like I said, this was obvious. This match that they were both going to get to the finals, and they're going to face each other, and we'll see what happens with that. But we all know what's going to happen at Full Gear. I already said it many times. Kenny's going to win the tournament. I think Moxley will be Eddie Kingston, make him say "I quit," retain the title, and be Moxley, Kenny Omega 2, probably on a special edition of Dynamite, and Kenny will win the belt. He'll hold on to it till Double or Nothing. Adam Page will somehow, some way become #1 contender again, and he will face Kenny at Double or Nothing, maybe in a stipulation match. I don't know, but they'll have a rematch at Double or Nothing 3 in April or in late March or around April time. I don't know if they're gonna do Revolution again or they're gonna go straight to Double or Nothing next year. I don't know. We'll have to see. So at Double or Nothing 3, we're gonna get Kenny Omega defending the title against Hangman Adam Page, and Adam Page is gonna beat Kenny for the belt, and everyone's gonna be happy. And Page is gonna go on a nice little run with the belt, not too long, maybe a month, maybe 2 months. I don't know who he's gonna lose the belt to. Might be MJF, or might be Jericho again. I don't know, but I do see MJF getting the belt sometime next year. But we'll see what happens with that. So that's it. So I gave the match 3.5 out of 5 stars. And it's basically all I got to say about Dynamite. So pretty good Dynamite last night. I gave it 7.25 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show. And comment down below if you want to do a video reply. That's fine. And if you have any questions or comments about AEW, put them down below or hit me up via Facebook or Twitter with your comments. And that's it. So 7.25 out of 10 stars for Dynamite last night, and we'll see what happens on the go home show this Wednesday night on TNT. That should be pretty good stuff. Like I said, we got Trent versus Miro 1-on-1. We got Cody Rhodes teaming up with the Gun Club to take on the Dark Order. That should be pretty interesting. We got we're gonna probably have more with FTR and the Bucks. We'll see what happens with that. Cody might defend the TNT. Well, Cody's not defending the TNT title, so like that. Probably get something maybe with Hikaru Shida and Nyla Rose. See what happens with that. And we got Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley face to face, probably to end the show. That should be pretty good next week on the program, and see if AEW can come back and beat NXT in the ratings next week. But we'll see what happens. The NXT should have a good show next week, coming off Halloween Havoc. And that brings me to NXT. NXT came out last night with the revival of one of the great pay-per-views of WCW lore, Halloween Havoc. We haven't seen in 20 damn years, since 2000. I don't even remember. I don't even remember 2000. I remember 98, which was Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio match versus title. I remember that one. I think there was DDP and Goldberg at Halloween Havoc, I believe, for the world title, and that great match that it was. There's some good Halloween Havocs. Flair and Sting in the Thunder Cage against Terry Funk and the Great Muta. That was good. They had the Chamber of Horrors match, which saw Abdullah the Butcher get electrocuted. That was pretty good. Cactus Jack was in there. The Steiners. I think Scott Hall was in that match as well, known as the Diamond Stud. Some good Halloween Havocs back in the day. Hogan and the Big Show, well, the Giant and on the roof. In the what you call it, the monster trucks, and then Hogan sending the Big Show off the roof to his death, and then the Big Show came out, and the Giant came out after that. I think one of them was I don't know, it was at Halloween Havoc. It was on Nitro, the debut of the Yeti. I think it was at Halloween Havoc. I'm not sure, but like I said, some good stuff from Halloween Havoc back in the 90s, in the early 80s and the 90s, up until 2000. So, everybody like me was hoping that Halloween Havoc would come back, get rid of Hell in a Cell, but said we're not going to get rid of Hell in a Cell. So it looks like Halloween Havoc may be a NXT thing. Over the next couple of years. Maybe next year we'll get another Halloween Havoc, but we'll see. I hope they do it every year now. Like we get Halloween Havoc 2021, 2022, and so on and so forth. But made its return last night in the Capitol Wrestling Center, at the Performance Center, whatever you want to call it. They had a mock version of the stage with the big pumpkin and the pumpkin that they had at every WCW Halloween Havoc. That was nice. They had a big ass pumpkin on the LED screen where the fans are. That was pretty nice. They had a makeshift graveyard. They had a stage where with the wheel, spin the wheel, make the deal. I liked how that came back. I was waiting for that. I was like, it's not only without spin the wheel, make the deal. I hope that's a yearly thing. So we got that. But overall, last night at Halloween Havoc was pretty damn good. That's why NXT won last night with 861,000 views, because everybody was waiting for Halloween Havoc last night. All the old school fans like myself and WJ who came back to YouTube again. It was in a video by Jerry and Righty, the Right Smart Buster. Pretty good video. Go and check out General Jerry's channel. The State of Wrestling 2020 with himself, WJ, and Righty. Pretty good video. So go check it out because I said so. That's that. But Halloween Havoc last night was great. We had Shotzi Blackheart basically naked. Or she didn't look. She wasn't naked, but imagine she was. But she was the host, and her hair was all in Halloween and stuff. Comes out in a Halloween get up. On the stage with the spin the wheel, make the deal wheel. Doing I think having Shotzi be the host was great. Maybe she'll be the host every year. But we'll see. You never know what happens with that. So let's get into this review. And let me get my notes loaded up here. My computer's a little bit slow, as it always is. But it is what it is. So, I need to eat something. I'm getting hungry again. So let's start off with Halloween Havoc, and like I said, it was very good. Great way to bring it back with the stage, all the props and the matches, all Halloween themed, except for one match. But so we had that. Like I said, they brought back the giant gargoyle pumpkin entrance, which I thought was a nice touch. Good job, Hunter. Good job, Hunter. You the man. That's right, I'm the man. Yeah, okay. We had Shotzi Blackheart in costume, sitting in an electric chair. She gets electrocuted. I was like, wait a minute. Am I seeing Abdul 1998? Not 898. 90, 89, 80, 90, whatever year that was. The Chamber of Horrors match. I was reliving memories of that. That was pretty cool. She's next to the wheel. She starts howling. So we get to match number one. For the North American title, Damian Priest taking on Johnny Gargano. So they come out. Shotzi's like, it's time to spin the wheel and make the deal. The wheel. And it lands on the Devil's Play match, which is no disqualification, count out, false count anywhere. Basically a hardcore false count anywhere match, if you want to put it that way. So Priest comes out with a live guitarist playing his theme, which I thought was a nice touch. So Johnny Gargano comes out. He cuts a hole into the inflatable pumpkin on the stage, which sucked. And so we get to the action. They go at it rights and lefts. They go to the outside. Johnny grabs a candlestick. Damian takes out a nightstick, it looks like. Couldn't tell. They start swinging at each other, going into the break back. They're on the outside. They go up to the stage. Johnny gets wrapped up in the deflated pumpkin, and Damian just starts beating him. Johnny comes back with goes for an insecurity, gets blocked, takes a big choke slam from the apron to the inside for a near fall. Then they go back outside. Priest hits the broken arrow onto the announce table. Did not break. I am the table. And we see Vic Joseph dressed up as Waldo. We couldn't find him though. Maybe he's in the bathroom somewhere. I don't know. Wade. Excuse me. Stu Bennett was dressed up as Bad News Bennett, and I'm afraid I got some bad news for you. And that's that. That was awesome. I like that. I like back. He's kind of training them for a comeback. So he might make it a comeback, maybe in NXT. I don't know. That would be nice. But though I don't think he would really fits in NXT, but I think he's better off on the main roster. They'll probably misuse him. Like everybody else that's been misused from NXT. or in WWE for that matter. That's that. So he hits the broken arrow on the announce table. Then he goes by the graveyard. By the graveyard, Johnny opens a casket, and then we see a fake doll pop out, and then he super kicks the doll. That was pretty funny. And then Priest comes in, starts beating him up. They go backstage into the backstage area. They fight. Johnny gets on the offense as we go into the second commercial break. We come back. They buy the wheel. They're on top of the stage by the wheel. Shotzi wasn't there or anything. She was probably backstage. Priest launches Johnny onto the stage. So we see like another stage next. They go through that. Johnny comes back flat. It's a crash over Priest with a bunch of shots. He starts yelling at the wheel, and then starts doing this. Mocks the taunt. Damien comes back with a pump kick, and it's somebody in a Scream outfit, Ghostface from Screaming, and Johnny nails a wheel assisted DDT. What the fuck are you, dude? And the guy walks off. They said Joe Cronin said that he revealed himself, but I don't know who it was. I have to ask Joe on that one. So I really don't know who it was. I couldn't tell you. I mean, excuse me. Johnny comes back with a tombstone, not a pizza, a tombstone. Johnny smiles, hits Damien over the head with it, breaks apart. Damien falls off the stage due to set, and he's knocked out cold. Johnny climbs down, covers him. 1, 2, 3. We have a new NXT North American champion. Johnny Gargano wins the belt back for the second time in a pretty damn good match. I gave a 3.25 out of 5 stars. So Johnny's the champion. Probably get a rematch at War Games. We'll see what happens this Wednesday night on the program. But Gargano finally got the belt after trying the last couple of times, last couple of takeovers, and not getting it. Finally gets the belt back. So we'll see if his lovely wife, Candice LeRae, can beat EO and get the NXT Women's Championship to become the second couple to win a major title, and the women's title on 0.25 out of 5 stars for that, and that's it. So pretty good match. Devil's Playground. I was hoping for Chamber of Horrors, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, like I said, we see Vic Joseph dressed up as Waldo, while Wade Barrett is dressed up as Bad News Wade Barrett. He gives Vic Joseph some bad news. And he says that he won the costume contest. I didn't even know that was one. I think Shotzi won the contest myself, but we see that prick Pat McAfee. He walks with Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan, the tag team champions. They recap what happened last week in the main event, where Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch beat Breezango when it was supposed to be Raw this week to knock them out. So we'll see what happens with that, and we move on. As we're going to hear from McAfee and company in a little bit. But before that, we go backstage with, I believe it was Mackenzie Mitchell, Cam Grimes. He's talking about his House of Terror match with Dexter Lumis. He's kind of freaking out. He's like, I don't want to be in this match. Being a little pussy there, Trevor? Okay. So William Regal comes in and tells him that he needs to go to a car that's going to take him to a undisclosed location where Loomis is. So, when Regal says you got to go to the parking lot, Grimes says, "Well, that's the scariest place I could go." I didn't know the parking lot was a very scary place. I don't know. So we're gonna see what happens with match. It's gonna be all cinematic, but as we all thought it would be. So we're gonna get to it a little bit. So I gave that segment 2.25 out of 5 stars, and we move on. All right, then we go to the ring with Pat McAfee and Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. McAfee puts himself over as having the greatest debut in history. Kind of agreed. He had a good match with Adam Cole, I'll say that, but not a great debut. Just saying. He says Adam Cole beat him. Yep, he beat your ass, but didn't congratulate him or anything like that. He just stood over him, and he went out and did a bunch of things like his stupid Sirius XM show, College Game Day, some other stuff on YouTube. He didn't have time for Cole, so he called up Ridge Holland, gave him a Mercedes-Benz. Lucky guy. Oh, wait, I have one already. For my WF, he has like 5 of them. That's me. I'm fucking loaded. Down there. But I digress. So he basically had Ridge Holland take out Adam Cole at TakeOver 30. But he mentions Holland's freak injury. I mean, compound fracture to the ankle and his knee. Just disgusting. But with him out, he decided to go another route. So that's why he attacked the Undisputed Era last week. So the Undisputed Era music hits, shock the system. And good old Kyle O'Reilly comes out. So he gets on the apron, and he's all alone, 1-on-3 against McAfee's group. But he's not alone, as we hear the music of the Cruiserweight Pete Dunne, who somehow got out of England and NXT UK. So he makes his return to NXT. He comes out with not 1, but 2 chairs, joins Kyle on the apron, gives him a chair. They enter, and then McAfee and company back away, and they get on the apron. Then Pete Dunne does the heinous act, and he turns heel and cracks Kyle in the back with the chair. Kyle's like, "What the fuck, man?" Ugh. All right. So I gotta go before the missus yells at me. So he adds a super kick as McAfee, Lorcan, and Burch come in. They beat him up, and they start talking trash. Dunne stomps on Kyle's arm, breaking his arm. Ugh. Then they hit a tandem DDT on a chair to knock him out. So it looks like this is setting up Pat McAfee's team with Pete Dunne to take on the entire Undisputed Era at War Games. That's probably going to be the main event. Another year that the Undisputed Era are in War Games. They're going to probably win War Games this year. But we'll see what happens with that. We'll find out on Wednesday night on the program. So I gave all that 3 out of 5 stars, and that's that. All right, then we go backstage. Cameron Grimes says he'll take a loss instead of fighting. He wants Regal to join him, but Regal's like, no. Then we see a white van pick up Grimes. He's freaked out that the person sitting shotgun was really creepy. The doors open and out pops Michael Hayes as Bad Street America. That was great. I marked out for that. Grimes says he hates rednecks, and he reluctantly enters the van, and they head off to the whatever they were going after that. And that's it. So I give that 2.25 out of 5 stars. That's that. All right, then we go to match number, I believe it's match number 2. Jake Atlas taking on Santos Escobar, El Hijo del Fantasma, who comes out wearing a Rey Mysterio-like mask from 1997. That was nice. So they have this short little 3.5 minute match. Basically, Santos Escobar comes out with his group, and he beats Jake Atlas with the Santos Driver. 1, 2, 3, pretty much a squash match. So he picks up the win. Whipped the damn deal. Gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. That was that. And we move on. Then we get a video package with Ember Moon talking about her little program with Dakota Kai. She says Dakota was a scared girl last time she was around. She says she has a good kick, but it's not going to be enough to beat her. So we'll see what happens with that. We're going to see Ember Moon next week on the program, taking on Dakota Kai. I guess Ember Moon's going to win that match. So I think she's next in line to face Io. Probably win it at either War Games or the takeover after that in December. So see that. So Io's run is probably going to end, and I gave away the ending, but it is what it is. That's that. So I give that 2 out of 5 stars. All right, then we go to part 1 of the House of Terror match. So we see Grimes getting scared by a deer head on the wall, a tricycle riding on its own. It was like Freddy Krueger was going to come out or something like that. Basically, he's getting scared, and then we see he goes into a room with a silhouette in a shower. He thinks it's Dexter Loomis' sister, so he takes off his vest and tries to go in, tries to get it on with his sister. But it's a spooky demon-looking chick who's bent over backwards. Not in that way, but it is what it is. He starts running around the house. He sees a bunch of things, and he runs out into the woods. And then we see To Be Continued. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. And then after that, we go to Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley. This was a hard-hitting match. We're getting to the end. Rhea counters the one-on powerbomb with a head scissors takeover, sends her into the corner. Rhea then hits a kick, wins with the Riptide. A pretty decent match. I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. So Rhea gets the win, like we all knew she was. So we'll see what happens with her as we move on. Then we see Cameron Grimes running back to the arena. That's that. Then we see Drake Maverick dressed as Hogan Brother with the 2.4-inch pythons. Calls Mackenzie Mitchell Mean Gene. And then we see 2 guys dressed as the Giant and the Yeti. Kind of recreating Halloween Havoc 95. That was pretty nice. Killian Dane as the Shockmaster. So they really go back years. That was pretty good. He doesn't fall off. Well, he tried to do the Shockmaster. He was a Shockmaster, but it doesn't fall over and lose his mask. And we see that it's a tugboat. Drake's irritated that he won't have fun. He puts on the helmet and trips. Okay, that's that. Then we go back to the haunted house of terror. Loomis shows up as the arena fills with smoke. Plants Grimes with a spine buster. Then we see the zombie girl, looks like Dexter Loomis' sister. She starts going around. Then she hops up on Dexter Loomis. Dexter Loomis just standing there getting a stiffy. She's like crawling all over his body. What the fuck is going on? Then he hits that Uranagi into the Anaconda Vice, and Dexter Loomis passes out. And that's that. So that ends that. So I give that 3 out of 5 stars. And that's it. All right, then we get a promo from Tommaso Ciampa, the Psycho Killer. He says that he doesn't recognize this NXT anymore. The colors are the same. The talent is so high, but the attitude and culture are different. Then he talks about the Velveteen Dream, saying he's 25 and full of talent, but keeps getting in his own way. He hit him with a case, not once but twice. A cast, excuse me, not once but twice last week, and he says he's a dead man. So next week they're gonna go at it. We'll see what happens with that, and that's it. As well as Ember Moon and Dakota Kai. So that should be pretty good next week, and that's that. All right, then we get to the main event for the women's title. Io Shirai, who comes out with Poppy to do her theme song, which I thought was a nice touch. She comes out with Candice LeRae, who came out with her hair all spooky like. That was cool. So Poppy's there to perform a scary mask, which I thought was nice. So Shotzi spins the wheel and it lands on a TLS match, tables, ladders, and scares. Oh my! As we see the title get raised to the rafters. So it's basically a TLC ladder match that we've seen many times before, even though WWE fucked it up the last couple of years. So basically, they go at it. They use the ladders. They use chairs. That was that, but it went pretty well. We get near the end, and we see Ghostface come back, which I think was Johnny Gargano. Oh, not, it wasn't Johnny Gargano. It was somebody. It was Indy Hartwell, I think. That's the only person I think it could be, because Johnny was looking at the person, and he was like, and he smiled a little bit. So I think it was Indy Hartwell. So Ghostface comes back. Candice is rolled inside. Then they pick her up onto their shoulders, climbs the ladder. Shotzi comes out, hitting Ghostface with an electric chair drop. Candice remains on top of the ladder, but she's dizzy, draped over the top of the ladder. But then she wakes up and she's like, "Oh, I'm about to get the title." Then Io sets up a ladder next to her. She chases up the ladder, and then they fight on top of the ladder. Io shoves her off, and Candice goes crashing through the ladder that was set up on the outside with chairs. I mean, that was a brutal bump by Candice. She landed knees first. And while that's happening, Io climbs up to the top of the ladder, gets the title. She retains. I thought that Candice was going to win this time, but I guess not. So Io retains. That's nice for me, but it is what it is. So pretty good match. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. So Io retains, and I think her next challenger will be Ember Moon, probably at War Games or the one after that. And I think Ember will get the belt back for the second time. So Io's run will end in about 5 months. Not bad, but it is what it is. And we'll see what happens with that. So that's it for my review for NXT Halloween Havoc. I gave it 7.5 out of 10 stars. And that's that. So let me know what you guys thought of Halloween Havoc, what you guys thought of Dynamite down below. And that's pretty much all I can say about it. So thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button down below. Smash that like button to death. And don't forget to tap that bell. Turn on all my notifications. And that's it. So thank you for watching, everybody. I'm going to shut up now and go probably watch the TV and then go to bed. Got a long day of work tomorrow. So that's it. So thank you for watching, everybody. I'm Peter Gomez signing off. Peace out. Rock on. If you're not down with that, fuck you, man. And hope you have a great Halloween. I'll be back probably late tomorrow night with my SmackDown review, or if not Saturday, then Sunday I'll have my my Halloween vlog on TGC 182, and then we'll get you ready for next week's action for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, and Full Gear predictions next week as well. Got that next Saturday. So that should be it. So thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm out. Peace! And happy Halloween, bitches.